Staying healthy, which is a key for your first year with all the things you're going through, is handling the transition well.
That is the former Chicago Bull, Wendell Carter Jr. Tobias guarded by Wagner. Little backhanded pass to Danny Green, whose three-point attempt is blocked.
Giving the numbers that he's producing night in and night out because he's getting looks in the course of this offense.
Two-year player at Michigan. Wolverines loved him as Embiid draws foul number 1 on Carter Jr. A lot of musical artists, a lot of athletes. He's a youth speaker, so Trey Brown, keep up the good work, my friends.
A young capitalist. I love it. All the best.
12-2 Sixers here. 8 minutes to play in the first quarter. Magic have dropped 6 in a row and 9 of their last 10. Joel fading away.
Another point just for degree of difficulty. My
this
goodness.
Kid, Wendell Carter Jr. Ice cold are the Orlando Magic. A couple of substitutions for this Magic team who are still pretty short-staffed, partner. A lot of the guys who they're hoping to see, former Sixer Markelle Fultz, Michael Carter-Williams, a lot of guys still coming back from pretty intense injuries.
Did a pretty good job of eliminating the other night against Cleveland.
Suggs turns the corner, lobs for Wendell Carter Jr. for the slam.
Overseas, so maybe slightly more advanced than 20-year-olds here in the States. Milks in, high arcing layup, no good.
There's some separation, so the big fella doesn't have to log a lot of minutes.
Season high 45 minutes as Carter Jr. fouls Embiid underneath. 5 of 6 from the floor so far. 12 points to lead the Sixers in this first half. 4 minutes to go, second quarter. Embiid almost blocking Wagner. You see, though, how quick he is for a big guy. 1.6, second quarter. Carter Jr., it'll count if it goes, but he leaves it short. Good to see Curry out there shooting so well here tonight. Here's Tyrese Maxey, runs into some trouble. Tough pass down the baseline, tough angle from Harris. He was actually behind the hoop on that one.
Keeping his dribble alive, seeing whether that defender, in this case it was Curry, coming from the top, would he come down and double team? He didn't. Wagner continued his move.
Tyrese leaves the 3 shorts. As you said, this Magic team may be young, but they're not going away. Harris blocked by Bamba.
And be careless with those cross-court passes. You see Suggs anticipating that.
Maxey's runner too strong, gets his own rebounds. And there will be a foul on the floor.
Wendell Carter doing some equipment adjustment.
Struggling a bit with the specs momentarily. Wagner no good on the reverse. Carter Jr. all alone for the putback.
Wendell Carter doing some equipment adjustment.
Struggling a bit with the specs momentarily. Wagner no good on the reverse. Carter Jr. all alone for the putback.
Pressure being released from the building. The tension was starting to mount here. The Sixers needed a good possession. Got one on that exchange.
Second tray of the night for George. Carter Jr. off the mark on his three-pointer. Carter Jr. off the mark on his three-pointer. Korkmaz the rebound.
Give it to him.
Joel wants it. And Carter Jr. takes it away. And here comes Wagner. Wants it. And Carter Jr. takes it away. And here comes Wagner.
We can finish the play.
Suggs turning the corner, little shoulder into Curry, no call. Carter Jr. the rebound and the putback.
Finish the play.
Suggs turning the corner, little shoulder into Curry, no call. Carter Jr. the rebound and the putback. I gotta say, partner, it just kind of feels like they're being out-efforted a little bit right now.
Yeah, and it looks like the 76ers are a step slow. Perhaps fatigue setting in. This is a team that's played a lot of games with not a lot of people in the lineup each night.
Carter Jr. off the heel. And
absolutely, right now in a little 2-3 zone, but I think the underlying question is, can anyone catch 22? Wagner with 22 on the night.
Embiid fading off the heel. Carter Jr. with it. Carter Jr. with it. And, I caught what you were saying with catch 22. As Carter Jr. catches from number 22 and finishes. 2 minutes to go in South Philly. Carter Jr. short on his three-point attempt, and Curry tracks down the rebounds. Maxey keeps the dribble, hesitates, turns the corner, and Carter Jr. grabs it. Point away from, again, tying his career high. Not That time, Embiid, good block out and rebound, and Carter Jr. forced to foul.